Welcome to the, I don't know, episode 19,004 of the RECRAP, doing post game after another great Cubs playoff effort. What was the final score? 37-3. Is that what they?
It might as well have been
7-3 lost to the Brewers.
I think you said 37-3.
That's what I thought it was, wasn't it?
Oh
No, they went for two a couple of times. So right, it's just me and Oleg. Prez is just too distraught.
Praz can't.
I mean, he had 8 innings to get used to the fact that they were going to lose.
Right.
I mean, once it got tied, it was over. So
that's the good thing about both of these games, because they were quick and I don't know, they're still painful. Whatever.
All right. Well, I'm going to play our.
Yeah.
We got a sponsor. We got a good sponsor for this one. We called him up during the game to get his permission.
Goddamn son of a bitch! What do you mean I'm gonna fall off the fucking thing? Fuck. Just keep running. Bullshit. I'm gonna slate this fucker. All right, I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody. No feeding. Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass. Man, I'd like to kick your fucking head in.
It's the Winnebago man. So if you need to buy, get off there. I don't need Jeff Pearlman.
Oh God, that's perfect.
So yeah, brought to you by the Winnebago man and by the Pat Bankowski Sports Spectacular. One of these days, I'm going to have Pat on. He's going to come. He's going to pop on. He's only got one more game, I think. So we better hurry up.
Yeah,
and get him on.
Praz is too. He can't remember the last time the Cubs won 3 in a row in a playoff series.
Well, I've already, one of the good things about the blowout is I've already written tomorrow's column. I was able to write it during the game because I knew nothing would change. And TBS kept going on and on. They shared the stat a few times that they seemed aghast that the Brewers haven't won back-to-back games in the playoffs since 2018. Well, do you know when the Cubs last did it?
2016.
2016. They've done it since the World Series.
Yeah. Well, even the Cubs are 0-3 in postseason series. The one stat I meant to text you as soon as I heard it. They said the Cubs have now scored 3 or fewer runs. Was it in 22 straight games?
12.
Oh, I wish it was 20.
But they didn't even. They seemed like shocked by that. Of those 12 games, they've scored 3 runs 4 times. Okay. 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah.
8 times in that stretch, they scored 1 or none.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know why any of this surprises us. It was just they jump all over big brain Pat Murphy and his opener. It works perfect. They get a 3-run shot. Say hit that ball 8,000 feet.
It was amazing.
And then Shota gets the first 2 guys out and does a weird little grin at the camera, and then 2 little seeing eye hits, and then a terrible pitch to Vaughn. Just awful.
Yep.
And you're like, well, fuck, this is over.
Yeah,
we're losing 3-3 somehow.
Yeah, what's even worse about the Vaughn home run, you're right, the 2 hits before were just frustratingly awful.
Yeah.
And the Vaughn home run was on a 3-2 count. It was a 3-2 pitch.
Yep.
And the pitch would have been ball 4. Like it should have been ball 4.
Yeah. He tried
shit out of it.
Shota threw like a little cutter.
Yeah.
On the first 3-2 pitch, right?
Yeah.
It was pitched before, and 3-1, and Vaughn swung and missed by a foot.
Yes, yeah.
And he tried to throw the same pitch, which was not a bad idea, but he missed so bad.
Well, it was way inside. I looked up the pitch. Like I was trying to watch. The other good thing about this game, sorry for the aside, I was trying to watch it with StatCast because I was kind of interested in it, and very quickly I abandoned that. The cool thing is I did get to watch the crazy ending of the Jacksonville Kansas City game.
Yeah,
I didn't watch on the main street.
I had it on the other TV, and I looked up and I saw the pass interference. I thought, Jackson just can't screw this up. And Trevor Lawrence falls down, tries to get up, falls down again, gets up, scores a touchdown.
Yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, sorry. So the pitch was way inside, and it was just infuriating. You're right, it was infuriating. But then they got out of the inning. Then Then he got out of the inning. Then he gave up the solo home run, right? And that was just, kind of a William Contreras just kind of hit the shit out of it. But then the next three-run home run that Palencia gave up was on an 0-2 count.
Yeah. And just a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah. They couldn't. And it wasn't
a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right. And just like, hit me. I know this is fast, but see how hard you can hit this. And Churiel was like, okay, this is how far.
Yeah. Yeah, holy shit. The Cubs, after all that, still only mustered 3 hits. You're not winning shit with that anyway. Yeah, the bottom of the order sucked. Like it was just like Tucker might be hurt. Like
fouls the ball off his knee on his first swing of the night, and he's laying. I'm like, oh, fine.
Right, just put Moises in at that point. Like it's not.
I think when Craig went out to talk to him, he said, "Look, you've only got one more game in this organization anyway. You might as well stay. You're free after Wednesday. You can go wherever you want. But we're just going to keep using you."
I will.
The Justin Turner move worked. He was 1 for 2. Got a base hit.
Well, I will say this: it did work in that. Like I think even Craig was expecting to put in Priester and just have Priester go like 4 or 5 innings, and that didn't happen. It did work in that they did get to Ashby, and that's kind of what I was thinking they had to do. Yeah. And they even like the second inning was infuriating because they just couldn't score when what was they had second and third with? I mean, they had second. And third
they changed and they changed pitchers and
and that was it.
I mean, I know I pick on him a lot, but way to go. It was great at bat for Ian Happ right after the 3-run homer. Gets ahead 2-0 and then just swings it like 3 terrible pitches. It's like, what the fuck?
He's off. He's so bad. Like he's like I don't think like I honestly like what if you just put Moises Ballesteros in left field? Just fucking do it. You need the offense. Just let PCA play way over. PCA made an awesome catch, but he looks
that was the announcer was like, "Oh, there's a fly ball to Happ," and I'm like, "That's not to Happ."
Yeah.
It should be to Happ, but it's not to Happ. And Pete comes flying out of nowhere and catches it.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. If Happ's going to do that anyway, if Pete's going to get to those balls anyway, just put Moises out there.
You could at Wrigley because the outfield's significantly smaller. He can cheat that way. And could. Honestly, I would basically just tell Tucker he's got to play left field. Go stand out there. This is your last pay. This is the last day of the. We have to pay you. You have to go play left. You got all season to heal up. I'm sure the Dodgers have good doctors. That was the other thing. You watch, so because the games are back to back, you watch the Dodgers and Phillies.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's like they're playing a different sport than the Cubs and Brewers.
100%.
And it's part of it even. So I don't know if it makes it more aggravating or less aggravating. Part of me, I'm watching them going, well, the Cubs can't. I don't think the Cubs can win a game off either one of these teams if they advance.
No.
But then it's like, I just don't want to you're going to lose to the goddamn Brewers? I mean, you're supposed to go get swept by the Dodgers, not the Brewers.
So I think that, all right, the offense, like 4 hits ain't going to get shit done, right? Like we can put the offense up to the side. There's really nothing you could do about it. Like they're slumping at the wrong times. You're not going to sit PCA. Happ fucking sucks, but just happens to be that Tucker got hurt. And so the offense is just what the offense is. There's nobody really to replace because the defense is really good. But I think that right now, like where we're at in the series, and again, like, I suppose they could win 3 in a row. Where they're at in the series, like this goes to the failure of Jet to get another starter.
Yeah.
And then it's at the feet of Counsell in getting too cute with pitching Shota. And your column was spot on. It just, you lose now. Now you have to put Shota in game 2, and now he's going on regular rest. And now maybe, I don't know if an extra day or an extra 2 days would have made a difference for Shota, but at least you move back Boyd. I don't know if that would have made a difference either. Losing Horton sucks, but just getting cute with it. And Ray was fine. Like Savali was fine. I don't know, piece together game 1. The Brewers proved that they could do it today. Like you piece it together, and now everybody's back on schedule, and you're no worse off than you are now. I get it, hindsight and all that.
Right. Boyd should have pitched tonight on extra rest.
Yeah. And
Shota would have had 2 days extra rest when he pitched on Wednesday, and he'd have been pitching at Wrigley, where it's harder to fucking hit at Wrigley than it is. How is it that the Cubs can bitch about the fact that their offense is suppressed by their park, But then when they go to set up their own pitching, they take the guy who gives up the most home runs in the National League, and he's going to play in Milwaukee. I know the Brewers don't hit that many fucking home runs,
right?
But their park is an easy park to hit home runs in. It's a terrible fit for Shota, and the Brewers took advantage of him today, and he could have been pitching Wednesday instead. At Wrigley, where you got like an 80% chance that the wind would be blowing it. It didn't. None of that made any sense.
It's infuriating. It's and like you could, I don't know, maybe there's an argument to be made that Palencia was left in for one extra hitter. Like bullpen management is just bad, and I get it. Who the fuck am I?
But when you have to go to him when you have to go to the bullpen that soon, you're basically trying to get an inning and a third out of Palencia.
No, I get it. Like I get it.
But he also, like you said, he threw a fucking 0-2 meatball to Churio. I mean,
and I looked up that at bat, and I thought that I thought that I'd remembered it. Churio hit 2 foul balls. It's not like Churio was swinging and missing.
Right.
And
he was making contact at least with the fastball. So where's the fucking 0-2 slider in the dirt?
Right.
And then come back with the fast. It's just, I don't get it. I believe this is Huey who's hanging out in the chat. He want to know if Kraz is on a bender. If he's on a bender, he might as well be on the pod. This is what it's for.
Yeah. Well.
From Ian Happ on down in the lineup, the Cub hitters were 0-17 with 10 strikeouts.
Yep. Sounds right.
And most of that was, and it just, the whole Jacob Misericordia thing just pisses me off because he can't throw strikes on back-to-back pitches.
Right.
And then the Cubs, first they started to wait him out. They seemed to have a little patience, and then they just scrapped it and started swinging at everything. And then he gets so excited. He's like running around. He's jumping up and down on the bag. Yeah. You're not 12. You're 22.
Right. Well, he might be.
You're not even the best rookie pitcher in your own goddamn division. So calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to know what Ron Darling. I know Ron Darling covers the Mets.
Yeah.
Right. But did he ever watch the Cubs? Because he kept saying, well, the Cubs are only down 4. They need to hold them here. When the Cubs are down 4, that's 4 more runs than they can possibly manage, Ron.
It's funny that you said that. I did think about that while it was happening. I actually thought it was it Faust? Is that the other announcer? I actually thought it was him who said it. But it could have been Darling. I'm like, what I figured happened is the director, the producer got a Darling.
Keep the audience.
You gotta stir up some excitement here. Like, there's got to be something. Because I thought of that. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Darling was talking about this dynamic Cub offense. It's like, is it? I forget. I didn't realize it was still June.
Yeah,
because they haven't had a dynamic offense since then.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's not. I'm not suggesting that. That it's all on the pitching, or it's all on the starting pitching, but the offense fucking getting. Sorry.
I mean, it's
the offense getting 4 hits.
The offense, they basically have thrown it in park again. Well, they never gotten out of it. They couldn't score against the Padres.
Yeah,
they haven't scored twice. They scored 6 runs in that series. They've scored 6. Yeah, Matt Shaw 4 walks in 2
4 walks in 2 games.
Yeah, he's a pacifist now.
Yeah.
But they, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, part of it. So it goes, I think, hand in hand, right? Like, but twice now the offense has gotten some momentum. They got Bush had the homer in the first, then Seiya had the 3-run homer in the first today.
Yeah,
and both times the pitching immediately gives it up.
Yep,
and it does. I think to an offense, one thing it gives you wanted to put the Brewers under some pressure.
Yeah.
And you haven't.
Yeah.
Because they only felt pressure for a half an inning twice.
Yeah. And then you let them off the hook in the second inning when you could have really
right. You could have just come right back and said, you know what, assholes? You're going to have to score. You're going to have to score a lot of runs today. After the second, the Brewers were like, well, I think the Cubs are probably done. We could just relax and take big hacks and we'll be fine.
They dinked and dunked their way to a 3-run home run again on a pitch that was inside. Whatever. Like, it is what it is, right? A 3-run home run. And then the Cubs had the opportunity to just come back and all right, fuck you and your 3-run home run and whatever, and just put them back down, and they couldn't do it either. Yeah. And I don't know what they are with runners in scoring position, but I can't imagine that they have more than one hit with runners in scoring position.
I thought they gave the stat yesterday that they only had 3 runners in scoring position in game 1 because they hit the 3 solo homers. They only hit 6 hits.
Yeah.
And today was bad. Huey says Happ followed up Misericordia's walk to Suzuki early in that first inning by swinging a 3-2 pitch over his head. The one thing he's good at, taking a walk, but he can't even do that when it counts. It's true. I mean, he's not. He's not a good baseball player. He's just not.
Like, yeah.
And then how about, so what was my big by genius take on this series, right? Was Brewers are going to have to string together a bunch of hits. Can't do that against the Cubs with this great defense.
Yeah.
Well, the Gold Glove, second baseman, shortstop both made errors.
Right. But didn't do anything.
They also really haven't needed to, because they were in game one. Matt Boyd was letting them hit balls off the wall, and then today it was hit it over the wall.
Yeah,
it's like, you've turned them into a real offense.
Yeah, and it was, and again, I think it just goes back. I'm not. It's hard to like. I'm not suggesting I know more than counsel, but like it was so clear. Like, why would you pitch short on short run? Like everything just goes back then. You were 100% right, because it really set everything else up, and it was just getting too cute. It was a bad decision.
I feel like the longer you give the Cubs front office and coaching staff time to make a decision, the more likely they will make a terrible decision. They will galaxy brain their way into something really stupid.
Yes.
And it's what they did. I couldn't believe that when they announced that Boyd, we talked about it on the pod after game 3 about how, at least it can't be Boyd. Who's it going to be? And they're like, just use Boyd. It's like,
what, why? Why?
I really did. I thought there was a chance today that Shota would shove, because he's competitive and he's whatever, but we're always going to look back. He had such a great year last year, and they just completely squandered it. They didn't do shit with it. They didn't make the playoffs. They didn't do anything, and it's the best he's ever going to be for them. It doesn't mean he's going to be a bad pitcher.
Right.
But that was the year. He was great last year, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
he's not the Cy Young candidate he was. He just is who he is, which is fine. It's a super valuable guy. They got, hopefully Steele comes back next year, no worse for the wear, and he's fine.
Yeah, I wrote in the column, I'm sure there are people like, we would have won this if we had Cade Horton. You know what I think would have happened? Cade would have pitched really well in one of these 2 games, and he would have left with no runs.
Yeah.
And then the Brewers would have just scored after he left, and they would have.
Because he wasn't going to pitch more than 4 innings, 3 or 4 innings, no matter what he was doing.
Right.
I mean, I know that, God forbid, the funny thing is, you look at the American League Series, Toronto. First, the Yankees pitched Schlitter, and he pitched amazing. I think he went 6 1/3.
Yeah.
And then Yasavage goes 6 1/3 the other day. Like, they let them.
So they showed the graphic during the game yesterday of his inning. I thought it was because he got drafted last year, and they were showing the
Schlitter.
Yasavage.
Yes.
He got drafted last year. And I thought what they were showing was all the places he had pitched over his 2 years. No. He started in low A this year and worked his way all the way to the big leagues.
Yeah. He went in, though. He was a first rounder. I remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a ridiculous. I mean, obviously, he was not in their plans at all at the beginning of this year. You don't send the guy to freaking the Florida State League and thinking, he'll probably pitch for us in the playoffs.
Right.
And he just kept, but they obviously aggressively promoted him. Anytime he showed something, like, let's move him up. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot I can, after I was already starting to think about, when this is over.
Right.
Looking ahead to next year. And it's like, there's not going to be any like momentum. Like, I don't feel like they're building. This was like, they did a half-assed, they kind of pushed some of the chips in this year.
Yeah.
And then you won't. And, maybe you get Steele back at some point next year. I mean, I don't know that he's going to be ready for spring training.
Yeah.
That'll help because you need him. But I have a real concern about, it just feels like year 2 of Cade Horton is surgery year.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
I also think it's going to be for the baby giraffe that pitches for the Brewers. So
right. Like, I think
waiting
Horton
for that arm to snap in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think Horton, I don't know. There's nothing saying that Horton will be fine. I think the way that they can build momentum in the offseason, this is probably the only thing I want to say about the offseason, is by just going out and spending money. If you re-sign Tucker early on in the offseason, and then you create the momentum going into next year, then you go out and you get a pitcher, you go out and get Gore, whatever, right? And then you go. And then maybe that's how you create. But like, this is just like, the offense is kind of dead. Other than Suzuki, like Hap is just, he's just a drain.
You can't have. He's not a guy. If I see the fucking stat about how he's the only major leaguer that had, what is it, 30 doubles, 20 homers, and 80 RBIs the last 3 years, It's like, you know why? Because the good players have like 40 homers and they hit 28 doubles, and then that doesn't qualify them for this stupid overly specific graphic. You don't get enough offense out of left field.
No, he's just
that's where you're supposed to have somebody who can really hit, and you just don't, and you just seem fine with it. And you're not going to get any offense out of shortstop.
Yeah,
Dansby's is what he is. And your catchers were good for, actually they got solid production out of catcher, but they acted like they used to have Mike Piazza. They could never figure out the Carson Kelly's OPS. They needed to just throw that and put it in a drawer and not worry about it and bat him 8th, because after April he was an 8th place hitter who they bat 5th for no fucking apparent reason. I kind of worry that they've got one of those lineups where they're like, well, we don't really have, like, we're good enough at all these positions. It's like, well, you're clearly not.
No,
because you don't score any fucking run.
Right. They're gonna learn the wrong lessons. Like they definitely need to upgrade somewhere. The problem is that, like, and it's the same problem they were in into last year. Like, where are you going to upgrade? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Hap. I don't know if you're stuck with Hap if you just bench him, but
they won't. I think they won't do it. They act like
they've got the outfielders in the farm and ready to go, and
they treat him like he's good, and there's no way they would do that. Oh, we can't do that to Ian. I'll just be happy if they actually let him leave at the end of the year. I'm really worried they're just going to extend him again.
Yeah,
because that makes no fucking sense. I mean, I think the most realistic thing is that next year that Seiya is their right fielder and Ballesteros is their DH, and they think they accomplished something.
Yeah.
And Moises, I'm sure, will be a good DH, but that they don't add an impact. They lose the best bat they have.
Yep.
And they're going to be like, well, we didn't get anything out of him after June. Yeah, you didn't. And that's why your offense sucked. Because when he was good and healthy, you had a really good offense. And then he fell apart and then got hurt twice, and your offense sucked, and you're just going to let him leave. And then you're going to wonder why your offense sucks.
I'll tell you this.
God knows what you're going to get out of Pete.
You know that there's a better than zero chance that we also just saw the last start by Shota. Because I don't think the Cubs are picking up his option, and I think he thinks he can do better than 1 year, $16 million on the market.
Yeah, I mean, if I thought they were a real team, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, I like Shota. I'd like him to stay. I'd be like, if I were the GM, and Shota decided he wanted to go, I'd be like, good luck.
Yeah,
we're gonna go get somebody better, but they won't get anybody better.
Right.
They won't replace him, so that would be bad because they need him because they set their sights so low in free agency that they'll get somebody who they pay almost as much or more, probably more, and won't be as good.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be bad. Well, they'll just,
you know what?
He'll want to do another go. How many songs can he learn in English? He already knows "Go Cubs Go."
Right. Now he might learn "Dying Cubs Fans" last request too. Actually, fucking amazing if you learned that song. I think that those are all next year's problems, and I think that what we really need to concentrate, what we really need to think about, and what's really important now is to think about, like, how are they going to beat either the Phillies or the Dodgers once they win 3 in a row?
Right. Once they
in a row, like, how do they set up the pitching staff? Like, what happens next?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Jameson Taillon is going to just blow away the Brewers.
Yeah.
And now you've got Boyd on
regular rest.
Is he on regular rest?
I don't know. So when
he pitched Saturday,
so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Thursday would be game 4.
Thursday, yeah. So Thursday would be regular rest.
And then Shota for game 5 on full rest.
Yeah.
Back in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll happen.
Done and done.
I really would like if they just don't get swept. It would be nice. Show a little, have a little pride, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, this Brewer team is not that good.
They're not that good.
They're not. It's, everybody looks great and everything's going right, and everything went right those 2 games. And a lot of it was because of the Cubs.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, right.
Make it go right. But you put them up against. Well, it's clearly going to be the Dodgers now.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels. I don't understand. So when Castellanos got to 3rd, was he at 3rd or 2nd? When did they didn't pinch run for him? But then they pinch ran then they used Harris and Bader, who can't run because he pulled his groin.
Yeah.
And they pinch ran for him. It's like, if he would pinch run for Castellanos, he would have scored on that single.
Well, he got thrown out.
No, they bunted, and he couldn't get to third.
Oh, yeah, right. They bunted to third. Yeah, he got thrown out at third.
Because he got a terrible jump and he's slow and he was out. Otherwise, they would have tied the game.
It was a really great play by Betts getting over there. That was a really nice play by everyone. Yeah.
But just watching that, it's like, you honestly run a pitcher for
It's amazing how much exciting sports there was today, and none of it had to do with the Cubs.
Yeah.
Well, for I guess for
an inning. We had a fun inning.
Yeah, that was a blast. Like they did exactly like I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about the game today. I almost called Jeff. Hey, we should do a preview. But I did. And so I'm like, I'm thinking like all they got to do is they get to Ashby in the first inning. It throws his whole plan out of whack about Priester. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe he thinks then he could get Ashby through one time through the order. You get to him, score about 4 or 5 runs, and you're off and running. And they did it. They Suzuki hits the home run. They get him on the ropes in the second inning, like even after they come back. Like it's just such a gut punch when just everything falls apart. And then these fuckers think could dunk their way to a 3-run home run. Yeah. And then, the solo shot is whatever. I don't even care about the solo home run. Like that's just Shota will give those up, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He's supposed to give up homers, but with nobody on.
Yeah.
They needed to string a few innings together where the Brewers were behind and started to feel it, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
They caught up immediately. If it was a basketball game, the Cubs have led for about 34 seconds in 2 games.
Yes.
And then, the Cubs are really good at playing from ahead too. Usually.
Well, the pitching,
it's easy. Yeah, it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
The starters were just brutal. Like I said, I just think it's Craig overthinking it, and I don't know. Hope it. There's nothing you can do about it now. Like now you're stuck. Now you have to go with Taillon in game 3,
but this was why. I mean, I really the trade deadline. I was so disillusioned by what they did.
Yeah, completely. Yes.
Because you could see this happening as a result of it.
Yep.
They needed pitching and they just refused to get it.
Yep.
And then he ended up, you fucked up this whole series because you wouldn't go out and get a starting pitcher.
Yep. That was kind of,
you could just see it coming. You needed it. You needed another bat. They needed a bat, which they didn't add.
But the bat, I mean, having Suarez instead of Shaw probably wouldn't do any good. Maybe it would. I don't know. Whatever.
I think just the threat of having a real, instead of that little guy flailing away at the bottom of the lineup. But pitching, honestly, the bat would have been, that felt like a luxury at the time.
Yeah.
But the pitching did not feel like a luxury. That I couldn't believe when the deadline ended and the Cubs had only added Soroka.
Yeah, it was obvious to everyone. And they're really only getting, the only guy who they added is like with any value right now is Kilrich. Like that's bonk. Like it was so obvious. It was so
well, and then they didn't. So Jed was like, well, everybody wanted. Well, other teams went out and got closers.
Yeah,
you could have done that too. You could have added to the back. Everybody made fun of the Yankees because right after they got Bednar and Duvall, those two, the first game they both gave up 4 runs or whatever it was. Bednar is the only good reliever the Yankees have now.
Yep, indeed.
And if you tack that onto the bullpen you have now, that get you at least another inning, which would come in pretty handy. But they were like, oh, we did this and we did that.
Yeah,
we got a lefty that Craig doesn't like and won't use. That'll be fun.
Well, it's not even on the roster. Rogers?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. He's not even on the... it didn't matter. I didn't think he'd use him.
Yeah. I don't think he is. Pretty sure he's not.
Who did they add then?
Kitcher. Who did they add instead of him? Brown.
That's right. Good old Ben.
Yeah, and he was good.
He should have started game 1.
anything except.
You imagine the reaction if they started Ben Brown in game 1 of the playoffs.
Oh God. But like starting Ray and him, like there's just when you have so many long relievers, so many guys who go multiple innings, it shouldn't be this much of a problem.
What I didn't understand was when they went with Boyd on short rest, they were hoping to get maybe 3 or 4 innings out of him, and it's like, well, that's not a good use of Matt Boyd then. Why wouldn't you rest him and use him for 5 innings in game 2?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? You have to compromise one or the other. If you have to punt game 1, punt it. But get yourself set. They punted game 1, but they didn't put themselves in a good position for games 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's been the thing. Like
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing. Like obviously, in the playoffs recently, right, in recent history, you had bullpens have been king. But what we're seeing, and I don't know, I haven't looked at it, I just kind of thought of it now. Schlitter went 6 1/3. Yesovich went long. Who did the Blue Jays have? Oh, yesterday was Yesovich. Who did the Blue Jays have in game 1? Gausman. Yeah. He must have gone 6. Otani went 6. Luzardo.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you see it, is in the Dodgers and Phillies series where they actually have real pitchers.
Yeah.
You've had Otani and Snell and Sanchez and Luzardo.
Yes.
Starting pitchers who, if anything, you can the Rob Thompson it was a bad matchup. He stuck with Sanchez one batter too long.
But what I'm saying is, if you do,
not because, but he still had gotten him. I think there were 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah.
So it's not like we were only going to get 3 innings out of your starter.
Right.
They were trying to get 6 out of him.
Right.
Because they treat them like real starters instead of this.
Yeah. Because they can. And so my point being is that now perhaps the pendulum really is swinging towards this idea. And even the Dodgers used Glasnow out of the pen to follow up Otani yesterday. Is that right? Like it's just and he may still start game 4. So it's like it's like you need good pitchers. And so even what you're doing by pitching Boyd in game 1 on short rest is you're not even giving him the opportunity to go 5 1/3. I mean, he sucked.
That's
anyway.
what I mean. It was.
But like, even if you move him, like it's just the whole thing is just so bonkers. And I think what Craig is doing is just managing as if it was still, the last few years. And on top of that, he's been handcuffed by the front office, not giving them any good starters. I know, I get it. Steele got hurt, like I get it, but
that shit happens. Like that going into the season that you're gonna lose at least one of your starting pitchers. You just know it. And that's why, because you're the Cubs and you have this huge financial advantage over everybody else in your division, you're supposed to use it.
Yep.
But they don't use it.
Yep. What sucks
look at the pitchers they signed.
Yeah.
They signed Jameson Taillon. It's a mediocre pitcher.
Yeah,
they gave 4 years to.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Like he's not as bad as you.
Right. But I'm saying this is all they'll pay. They will only go to that level.
That's right.
They'll only go to Matt Boyd's level.
Yeah.
When they went to Asia, they didn't get Yamamoto. They got Shota.
Yep.
And they shop at the middle, and then they sit there in the playoffs and they're like, I don't understand. It's like, did you fucking watch? I don't think did Theo put a fucking bag over Jed's head for the entire 2016 season? Why did you win that World Series? Because you had. And you got these guys all different ways. You paid big money for John Lester.
Yeah.
You made a savvy trade for Jake Arrieta.
Yep.
You turned Kyle Hendricks into a really good starting pitcher.
Yep.
And then when you went out to get a guy, you went and got a complete asshole, but a guy who you knew how to pitch in the playoffs. You got John Lackey.
Yep.
And you won the World Series because you had 4 guys you could rely on.
Yeah.
And instead you're like, well, we could just go, this guy's kind of good. And we could keep this guy. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's fine to take a flight. Like Matt Boyd, that's a savvy move, right?
Yeah. But it shouldn't be the best move.
He ended up by the end of the year, he was your best pitcher, which is well, I guess Horton was your best pitcher, but you also didn't expect that. That was like found money. That was that was a 20 you found in your pants. And so you think about that. Boyd turned out better than you thought he possibly could. Horton came out of nowhere. And you didn't. They should have been like your 3rd and 4th pitchers and been like, "Look at this. We go 4 deep and we kick your ass." But you don't have a 1 or a 2 because you wouldn't go get them. That's why you're stuck like this. Oleg is spinning in his chair.
Sorry, it started raining and my balcony door is open, and I wanted to see if the rain was coming in because it's nice when it's open, even when it rains. But it starts. Sorry about that. I think you're 100% right. And I guess it's part of it is being too late to the game, because you've got all these pitchers being locked up. And on top of that, it even goes back to them cheapening out on they signed Dansby instead of Trey Turner. They never made a run at Harper. Like, it's constantly reaching for the middle. They traded 2 prospects to get Bush. Imagine if you had, like, you wouldn't have to pay half $20 million if you pay. I think you made this point some time back. If you paid Harper, you wouldn't have to pay half.
No, and you should have kept when you couldn't get anything for Schwarber. You should have kept him. You should not have non-tendered him. It didn't make any fucking sense.
It didn't. It was dumb.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back. The Bryce Harper thing is still inexcusable.
Yeah,
because he wanted to play for you. He signed a contract where he would be the 3rd highest paid player on your team now.
Yep.
He'd be easily your best player, but you wouldn't. They freaked out when they saw the contract, but it doesn't take very long. Like the same thing when they chicken out on Tucker.
Yep.
They're going to look like 3 years from now and be like, oh, look at the guys we had to go out who aren't as good, and we had to pay more money because we needed to fill these spots. It's like, just act like you know what the fuck you're doing once in a while. It's amazing. If you pretend you know what you're doing, sometimes you'll actually end up doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you everybody's going to point at the Mets and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, like, that was just, they ran into some bad luck. All of their pitchers got hurt, and they never really invested in pitching. Senga was whatever. But, like, the Mets.
Well, but the Mets are interesting, right? So they're operating on Theo's beloved parallel tracks.
Yeah.
They're going out and they were signing guys. They re-signed Mania and they went out and they did that stuff. But all of a sudden, look what happened when they ran out of pitchers. They brought 3 guys up at the end who all look like they're going to be really good pitchers.
Yep.
So Stearns has a plan there. Like,
yes.
This year, the veterans were supposed to get them into the playoffs, and then as those guys age out, then these 3 guys are supposed to slot their way in.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So honestly, despite the fact, like, who would you rather? What roster would you rather? Would you rather have the Cubs or the Mets roster?
100% Mets. Yeah.
You still want the Mets roster.
Yeah.
And you could be like, oh, they choked. It's like, yeah, well, at the end, they're going to end up, the Cubs are going to stuck around for 2 playoff rounds and won 2 games, which is great because it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing.
The failure, the Mets get momentarily embarrassed,
right,
by falling out. But they start next year with a better team than the Cubs do.
Yes.
So which would you rather have?
Yep.
And they have to operate in a real division. They have to deal with the Phillies, and the Braves will be back next year.
Yep.
And the Cubs basically have a fucking freeway to the playoffs every year. And this is the first fucking time they were able to not drive off the road.
Yeah.
It's all embarrassing. And we allow it. We don't demand enough of these guys. We bitch about it, but we don't do anything about it. We go to the games. We still watch all the games. We still do all the stuff.
I will say this, Andy. I've been to is it 4 or 5 games this year, and I have yet to buy anything inside of the ballpark.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts for anything.
I thought it was weird that for those, the rooftops weren't full for those playoff games against the Padres.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe limited. I don't know. Maybe something about, I don't know.
I just don't think there was enough
interest.
Demand.
Yeah. I mean, the games were pretty well, like, I have a friend who went to one of the games.
The atmosphere was great.
Yeah. It would have been nice to be there, but.
Well, we'll start there. The atmosphere on Wednesday will start the big comeback.
Woo!
Historic.
Can't wait. You just wait. Do you know what the score was of the last game that the Cubs lost in 2016 World Series? You remember? You know, but do you remember? Sorry. I didn't remember either. I had to look it up.
No, that was they lost 1-0 in game 3.
Right.
What was game 4 got away from them, right? Was it 7-3? 7-2?
Yeah. So they're a run better than they were in 2016.
Yeah.
So there's
if Chris Bryant shows up, it's a home run.
Yeah, and they got shut out in game 1 and shut out in game 3. Right? So
that was the stat we got from the hockey announcer tonight. Was the last time the Cubs won a series after losing game 1.
Yep, was 2016.
Was the 2016 World Series. Huh?
Here we go.
I have a feeling for years that's going to be the last time a lot of shit happened.
Oh, God. I know. I think that's true. I think you're right. I don't want to think you're right.
We're just gonna have to, we're just gonna have to remember. I will say that this is, well, I'm trying to think quick. Like the 2017 playoffs, beating the Nationals felt like an accomplishment because it had been such a weird season.
Yeah,
and
it was weird.
It was the hangover season, and then losing to the Dodgers sucked, and I did not want to see the team won the National League pennant in Wrigley Field 3 years in a row.
Right.
The Mets, Cubs, and the Dodgers. They didn't like that. 2018 was that was just miserable because of the way that, and then we didn't see the playoffs game until 20. Those didn't count. Nobody. It was weird. Right. We all thought we were going to die. So this was like watching the playoffs this year has been, it's nice to beat the Padres. The games have been close and whatever. Yeah. But when they lose, it's nice to not, like, I used to just lose my shit when they lost. But I realized that it was because I just felt like I was going to go my whole life and never see them win a World Series. Well, they won a World Series. So I still want them to win. I still get mad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think, like I said earlier, and you kind of mentioned it, at least the last two games were kind of over quickly. And today you definitely felt like when Vaughn hit that home run, it was just like staring at the TV. Like at that point.
I'm still pissed at the White Sox incompetence.
Oh, God.
It's like, really? You couldn't have turned him into something? I mean, I don't think he's that good.
I don't think so either.
But he's clearly a useful big league player, which he was not with the White Sox. He also was supposed to be, and he wouldn't have helped us, but he was supposed to be the return for Kimbrel. That's who Jed really wanted. But he ended up with Mandeville instead. Yeah. Oh, no, he's too good a prospect. We can't.
But then you wouldn't have Mike Bush.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the Cubs would have given up on Vaughn by now or not.
Yeah.
That would have been 2 years ago. They probably wouldn't have.
Yeah. Or you send, or Vaughn could be playing left field instead of Happ right now.
Oh, we can't get the 4-time Gold Glover. That's what Cole Wright was already saying. He's gonna soon to be 4-time Gold. I say, fuck off. Just shut up.
Oh,
probably because the easiest way to win a Gold Glove is to win one.
Yes, they have won it before.
And then they just keep. Oh, who did I vote for last year? Fine, he can have it again.
I think they just pre-fill out your form with whoever you voted for last year. Yeah, and you have to actively.
It's too lazy to. I could change. I don't even want to think. Most teams don't even have an everyday left fielder. So
they even give you a drop down box, and even that's too much. Like,
can't Jackson Churio win it? I mean, I know he played a lot of center, but he's playing left now. Can he win it just so it's not Happ? I can't believe that guy's 21.
Jesus Christ.
At least
look at it this way.
He's only got 5 years left on his contract. So
well,
he'll be gone in 3 years.
Right. They signed him, didn't they? Well, look at it this way. They're never going to, if he keeps this up, they're never going to sign him to a second contract.
That's what I'm saying. They'll end up trading him before he gets to the end of it. So we only got about 3 more years of Jackson in Milwaukee. So.
Is he better than Happ? You think?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's slightly better. Yeah.
It's a mystery.
All right. Well, I'm sure we can. When they win on Wednesday, everything will change. It'll be, here it is. Because all these short series, one win, and it all turns around. One win could
change everything. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. We'll see.
3 in a row. Here we go. Thanks, Sandy.
Many of us have herpes.
Postgame show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. I mean, got to congratulate the Dolan family.
Thank you. Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much.
Awesome.